And there we're. Oh, and you can hear the dog beautifully. That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
All right. No, man.
Should I let him out?
No, they
He'll lay
no.
down, right?
People like dogs. It's just what's happening, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to, I guess, episode 3 of BluntForce Wisdom. Hi, Gomez. Gomez wants to say hey to. I'm Steve. That's Sugar. We're backside. Last week was Sugar's birthday week, and happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm an old lady now, so.
And I hope everybody doing good. Hope you're all right. We're gonna get into some thick shit tonight. Already.
They're gonna be able to hear this.
Oh yeah, no. It's so okay. So fortunately, most of the people who are checking this out right now aren't new to the channel, and have seen Gomez crash a stream or 3. It's what he does, and he's good at it. I'm glad I got to bring him with me. I can't bring him to work with me in the studio.
He's a good dog.
It's a bummer.
And he loves me so much. He's obsessed with me.
Which Sugar loves. You know, our buddy Ernst has a joke in his set. I don't want to like do all of I don't want to do a shit or anything like that, but he does have a joke about getting divorced and having to go stay at his mom's house because he wanted to be around a woman who loved him.
I get it. That's how I feel about your dog.
Yeah.
You love me.
No.
Except he's licking my tattoo. Also, I had a really wild weekend, so I sound even more like a dude than I normally do. So my voice is just a tiny bit kind of shot. So yeah.
If you like flex on the whisper a little bit, it's totally like 1990s phone sex operator though.
Man, I wish that was. I could probably make some money right now.
Right.
All right. So what are we
well,
talking
do you want to
about?
talk about your wild weekend at all, or do you want to stay out your business?
It was awesome. I went to Reggae Rise Up, and my best friend came out, and it was honestly one of the best birthdays I've had in a few years. It wasn't ruined. I was able to. I did some shrooms, and I realized that I'm not a person who likes to do shrooms around that many people. I definitely like that too. I like to do that shit way more with my homies in a environment that I am comfortable in. There was a fucking grip of people there, and it was a lot. It was downtown by the D. But it was cool because my homeboy's birthday is on Sunday, and then my best friend's birthday was on Tuesday. So we always go every year and celebrate our birthdays, and it was dope. Honestly, some of my favorite bands played. Although I will say, I don't know if I'm festival material anymore. That shit is like 3 days long from 12 to 11:30. That's 11 and a half hours, 3 days in a row. That's a full-time fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's exhausting. And so I think that I'm like, maybe I love those bands and they do tour. I think that I would much rather see them on a more intimate scale, where it's just a show with a couple of my favorite bands or whatever. Like I do my punk shows or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I saw Revolution play at the Mandalay Bay Beach stage, and that's the fucking raddest venue in Vegas. It's like a stage, and it's surrounded by like a pool, and then it's all sand, and it has the raddest sound system. Like, it's the best place to listen to reggae. So, but it was awesome. I had a really good time. I had a great birthday, actually.
Cool. I'm very glad. What's up, Dork? Hi. Well, I guess we'll kind of get going. If you're not familiar with the show, if you're new to it, what we're trying to do is combine some significant life experience with some jokes and way more reality than I would wager 95 to 99% of the shows that do sort of relationship and life and lifestyle kind of thing. And a lot of that has to do with our heritage. Both Sugar and I have a scumbag in our family tree, and that is something that we are fairly proud of. Send a couple of links out, but yeah. So I would pull up for that. Stay for us inducing trauma on each other occasionally. A very adorable, totally not a crack pipe snowman bong.
It's a snow globe.
It's a snow globe.
My other bong, I don't know, man. I don't clean them enough.
Your other bong is literally a crack pipe?
No, fuck no.
That's terrible.
Although people do think when I dab with this thing, they do think it's weird.
No, it looks like drugs.
Yeah.
It looks like drugs.
I mean, honestly, though, hitting a rig with a torch feels like drugs. Honestly, feels like drugs. I love it, though, because I get super high when I use my torch. But, yeah, it definitely kind of makes you feel like you're fucking doing drugs.
I mean...
And then when people see you doing it, they're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, I can't tell you, the first time some people who were even like in the conspiracy community and had been around some shit and seen some shit before, hadn't seen a dab rig. We were up at Reading at a friend's place, a little off-grid property. weed farm kind of thing. Dog, stop, dude. I will let you out. I will. You don't go chew on
Nobody
yourself.
wants to hear you licking your balls.
Well, no, that was a pause.
Oh.
But at any rate, there was a dab rig out, and the host was, fixing up a couple of, to get ready. And the looks on these dudes. One guy was like a real estate agent. He was just coming for a meetup. The other dude was like Navy. Been out a couple of years, only had a little neck beard going, still had like baby fat on him and stuff like that, man. And the looks on these dudes' faces, and there's a couple of, like well-worn people in the room. You know what I mean? Seasoned.
Honestly, I've not had a rig and still dabbed off of 2 knives.
Oh, believe it.
And I'm 40. So that was like, I think last summer.
There was a point where I had to get rid of a whole ass Leatherman because most of the bladable or were just covered in oil.
I really like to dab though. I really like to get out of here. Sorry, it's my child. Will you go? No. Bye. Go. Anyways.
You can take the dog.
Aslan, no.
No.
Go. I'm gonna beat her.
With the dog.
She's just mad about the phone charger.
Hang up, go, man.
Will you shut that door?
Sure. She can go into my truck and get the
She ain't
charger.
gonna know what what? No. Wow, what a shit show tonight. Fix that light that you just fucked up.
You're freaking... Why are you so demanding?
I mean, because I'm assuming people want to see.
Well, okay, fine. Here you go.
It's bright as fuck.
There you go. I told you I can turn down one. I can.
We didn't prepare, obviously.
Try not to screw up. Well, we're still working out the space. And look, there's going to be, we are going to be set up for calls next week. I can't freaking wait to start that.
Yeah, me too. That's honestly going to be the best because I can't wait to hear what all these degenerates have to say.
I've met some of you degenerates. There's a couple of you degenerates that I downright adore. We could probably lose the intro music at this point. There we go. So it's been 10 minutes. Sorry. Maybe the intro music blurred out a little bit of the language. They weren't going to monetize the show on YouTube anyway. We need to. When we start the call-ins, we'll have our channel up.
Yeah, I actually am really excited to do the call-in stuff.
It's fun, man. It's fun. There was we used to do a show called Get Your Shit Together, and it was a call-in show. And there were like a couple of just total idiots, total jerks. So there was like one consistent troll that I to this day, I have a theory on who it was.
But you don't know?
Well, I'm not going to share until I have a little bit more conclusivity. But yeah, on the, I don't know, on the whole, it was awesome. Well, yeah. The snow globe thing just trips me out, dude. It really does.
So I used to subscribe to this weed box, and they send like a piece every month. And I had like a champagne bottle, and then there was this other one I gave my mom, but they were really cute, but it's fucking expensive. And to be honest, they send you like a cute little bong or rig or whatever, but the rest of it is just like blunt wraps and lighters and shit, and you're paying like $40 a month when you could just buy this shit on Amazon for like $10 or whatever, you know?
That's fair.
But I love subscription boxes because it's like fucking Christmas. I get one for my nails. I will never stop that one, but yeah. There's a subscription box for everything now, though.
You don't have your nails on. I just noticed.
I know, because I'm going to do a Freddy Krueger set.
Ooh.
So I want to take them all off.
All right. I've seen some.
I feel like you're avoiding talking about what we're supposed to talk about.
I am not, man. I'm just warming. We're just warming up. We're getting into it. The thing that we're going to talk, we've got time. And I'm used to doing 3-hour shows.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So, but no, the theme for the night is trust issues. We talked about this, I think, last time, where we went through some of your background and what you've had to deal with on the narcissism. We kind of landed on this as something that we're gonna because I have been accused wrongly. Accused harshly of that is I don't know, how would you describe it?
Like you want to die alone.
I do not, though, and that I've been perfectly clear about the fact that I would prefer to die fishing on my deck, but that doesn't mean I would like to be,
I don't know why I would
involved
think this.
in that process.
I don't know why. It's like blows my mind. Why would I think this? I don't know verbatim. I can't remember it exactly, but it went something like, I really only want to spend like a day and a half with someone, and I don't want her to talk about any of her problems or her anything that is concerning in her life, and I don't really want her to talk at all, but then I want her to leave and then 5 weeks later come back for a day.
That is not true. That's not true. Not even in the least bit.
It was close.
I find that to be a rather disingenuous interpretation and or retelling, my friend.
What episode was it? I'm gonna go find it.
It was probably the first or second one that you were on in the studio. But no, and look, you gotta understand that I'm also leaning into some of that shit a little bit. I really actually do enjoy company, shit like that. I will carry on.
I honestly think it was alarming for you to even hear it, because we kind of been messing with you for since it happened, and I think you were like, damn, like maybe I said it a little harshly. Like, bitch, will you go home and stop telling me your problems?
I will say this. The at least with dudes, when we talk to each other about the shit that's going on in our lives, it's so that we don't have to bring that to you. It's so that we don't.
Look, I don't know about other women, but me, I smoke a lot of weed, and I have kids, so I can zone literally everything out.
Right.
So I'm okay letting a person vent to me and not hearing a fucking word that they're saying.
Not constructive. How is that any different
Because
than your interpretation of me being like, bitch, go away?
I was married for 14 years.
That's different.
No, I'm sorry. I was married for 12 years, 11 years. I still, to this day, could not tell you what my ex-husband does in the Marine Corps, because I don't give a fuck. But you know what I did do? I always listened to him, and I always nodded, and I always was like, oh man, that's really a bummer. I'm sorry that happened. But honestly, I didn't give a fuck, nor did I hear anything he was saying. And that's a part of being in a relationship.
Can't imagine why that marriage didn't work out.
Well, he was a Marine. That's why I fucking did. And he sucked.
But, okay, so despite some interpretations and look, I was mostly joking about half of that shit. At least half.
But at least you admit you said it.
Of course, but not the way you said it.
Well,
And I certainly didn't. I certainly wasn't like it. They go away for 5 weeks. No, man, no.
one girl was
No.
gonna move here to be closer to you, and you were like, "Property isn't even good here. You should definitely go somewhere else."
But that says more about the girl than it does me. It
True.
does. It does.
It does because
This is way more about the girl than it does me. That girl was a little weird.
yeah,
A little weird. Did not want me making jokes on my show.
like at all.
Like,
You didn't tell me that.
not that had anything. She got. I don't know. I have another show. I was making jokes about the press secretary and that whole arc with and that bothered this chick who like
That
didn't
bitch.
even really know me.
Fuck that bitch.
So now you understand why I
Yeah.
was like, yo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you should move to Tennessee or as far the fuck away from me as possible.
I hear the bio's nice this year. You ever gone down to the swamp lands? It's
Where-
delightful. You know
Where do
what's
you meet
great
these women?
in the winter? Maine.
You meet them in Maine.
No. So I mean, I do this for a living. Yeah, and I do it 6 days a week.
So you're
And
basically
I'm-
a celebrity. That's what
um,
you're saying.
Well, there is kind of there's always like half in the back of your mind as to whether or not like this person has an action figure collection. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, and that's I've seen it.
in your dating profile,
I've
do you
seen
put
it.
your show in it?
I don't know if there's links to it or not. I don't know. I don't think I put the title of it. I probably should.
When I had my
Yeah,
very
advertising.
first Twitter, I swear I was always like, if anybody's trying to like date me or hook up with me or anything, I'm gonna just make them look through my fucking Twitter and see if they can fucking
please
hang.
do that.
You
Yeah,
know?
no. Well, and that's why my dating profile app is set to pre-screen based on what it says in the first place. Yeah, and I do suck at small talk.
Mine just
I
says
do.
some shit about hating the fucking government or something.
Yeah, but that's an attractive quality in a human being.
But that's all that mine says. It has my name and it's like I've something like I hate the government, hit me up, I don't something, and then that's all. I didn't say a goddamn thing about me. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the vast majority of anyone on a dating profile app probably isn't looking to find out that much about you in the first place.
There's a lot of
anyway.
dudes who definitely like me because you can see who likes you or whatever.
Okay.
That you can tell would not fucking like me very much. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so surprised at how many people have such personal information on the internet like that. Like even with like vaccinated or whatever, like I feel like that's weird information. I mean, I'm grateful they put it on there because swipe left, but it's weird. Dating profiles and dating on the internet is probably like the weirdest thing I've ever done, because before my ex, I met everybody at shows or bars or whatever.
Yeah.
And I did meet my ex on Kick, which red flag, like right away. But that was the first, and it wasn't a dating app. It was like a fucking conversation app. It honestly was a degenerate app.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like honestly the best though, because it was a fucking free for all. Nobody was monitoring. You could put your dick, your balls, we won't even, one day we'll get into Kick, the person that I was on Kick, because that shit was fucking wild.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for that.
Oof.
I can't
You're going to
wait
be
for that.
appalled with me. But
Buy scumbags for scumbags. And look,
Oof.
let's be honest, almost all of you are scumbags.
It's honestly
In some way, shape, or form. And it's okay. You need to, the only way that you can deal with any of your degeneracy is by recognizing it.
I really do think that you will definitely have an opinion about some of
Fuck yeah, I will.
I feel like
for a living.
And I feel like before we ever do that episode, because really it is horrific, you could never judge me, and ever, ever, ever. But we'll do it.
I don't judge.
It was honestly one of my favorite apps because everything went. You could make rooms for specific things, so then you were surrounded by people that were like-minded, like beards and tattoos or whatever the fuck. You could connect with people literally all over the fucking world. And I still have friends. I've been off Kick for a while, obviously years, to be honest. After I met my ex, I got off it. He was the only one who got back on. But I still have like homies that I talk to on Snapchat sometimes that I met in my very, very first room fucking 6-7 years ago that I opened. I still own rooms on that stupid fucking app. Like my homegirl writes me, she's like, will you sign on and fucking give me the room? And I was like, no.
No.
But I ain't been on that shit in years. Like, I mean, years. So, but it would be a really good show. It was a really fun app. There was never in my life ever a time I felt like there was more free speech on the internet than when I was on Kick.
Yeah. Oh, I should address that. No, there wasn't one of the other shows that I do. We did have to cancel this morning, and it sucked. But basically, what it came down to is that the guest had like conditional to the interview was using Skype, which didn't really understand. But there's an older desktop in the studio. You have to put what the fuck? Did that just crap out? Oh, maybe not. Hopefully not. Are we still live on Rockfin? Okay, cool. Oh, that says not live. That says live. Okay, feel better about it. It's just my phone app. Never mind. At any rate, old desktop. And in order to incorporate Skype with what we did, we would have had to install new streaming software. There's an update in it that's pretty funky. It wasn't working. And at that point, like the install made the regular StreamYard slow down, run super slow. So we just kind of hit a wall and had to spend the rest of the day like uninstalling stuff and making it, workable again. But we will be back tomorrow. And very, very, very sorry for not being able to put out a show this morning. It sucks missing a day. But yeah. And there's like a 10-hour time difference. So you go through like most of it's not even until like way late night, early morning before the dude's even in a spot to communicate. So yeah, whatever. It sucked. It doesn't suck anymore. Everything's working again. It's all good. And we will be back on track in the morning. That's funny. Let's see. You want to get into the shit then?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. As to why I may have, maybe a little bit
reluctant,
abrasive.
Maybe.
Really, I don't. Yeah.
That's a good word.
I used to be significantly less abrasive, although I did undoubtedly more, I guess, incorrigible.
You stop using all your big goddamn
rascally. No, but I would immediately open up, the entirety of my life to a human being or whatever. I always had like, revolving door, couch, crashing, whatever, and like had to deal with some shit that way. We ended up getting raided because a dude that we had let stay at our house. This is in the 90s, man. Let this kid stay at the house for like, I don't know, being like 3 months.
Did you know him?
And he was just a kid that we were in Bloomington, Indiana in the 90s selling weed. He was somebody that, we met that way. You're fucking hanging out in People's Park with all the other, stoner kids and fucking punk rock kids and whatever. I didn't go to school there. I was a pizza delivery driver for Mad Mushroom Pizza, where the box said "feed your head," not "feed your belly," like you would with a pizza. Feed your head. Yeah. People would call up and order the $60 small cheese.
Really?
And that meant that you were getting some psychedelics on your pizza.
That's fucking cool.
Everybody that worked there, dude, the guy who was the pounder who fucking actually made the pies and shit was 25-pound a week swag dealer.
Really?
Oh, dude, all kinds of. I mean, again, it's back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Dude, all kinds of. It was Mad Mushroom Pizza. All kinds of weird shit went out of that joint. At any rate, we let this kid stay on the couch for a while. I come home from work one day, and he'd been fucking up in general. He was a fuck up, whatever, dude. You can be a fuck up, and you just don't cross a handful of lines. It's okay. And he was crossing those lines and shit like that. And I came home one day, and him and his buddy are flat the fuck out huffing paint on my front porch, on my stoop.
I've never huffed paint.
And I'm like, we got a backyard.
Oh, yeah.
There's a back stoop. There's fences.
There's a house.
Yeah, I would prefer you not huff paint in the house, But there was a Florida room type screen room thing, too, where I guess it would have been all right, But all of these other places existed, as opposed to right the fuck on Front Street.
Yeah.
Which is where, and this is Bloomington, Indiana, in the 90s, where two obvious street kids. They're not college students. They don't look like college students. They don't fit anybody's bill for college. And it is Southern Indiana, again, in the 90s, where it's a black kid and a fucking Mexican kid sitting on the step, and it's like, well, shit, bro, I don't know what you want me to do. You let you hang out here for free for fucking months. Like, you don't really clean up after yourself. You washed a couple of dishes. That's cool. But you're huffing paint on my porch. What the fuck? And so the house got raided because we ended up kicking him out. He got pinched. Me, my girlfriend at the time, and then her friend and her friend's girlfriend. So I was living in a house with 3 women. We're like 19, 20, 21.
Red flag.
That wasn't my fault.
I know.
And then again, constant hippies and shit like that, parties and whatnot. College town. We don't have jobs, and we're making friends and allegedly selling cannabis. House gets raided. The chick that I'm with, when she spends 8 seconds in handcuffs in a police car, decides to go absolutely fucking just nutted up a little bit, not happy, screaming, kind of kicking around and stuff like that. They ended up having to shoot her full of shit to calm her down. When she gets awake in the hospital, they send in somebody very, very nice who starts asking her all kinds of questions. She tells them a couple of people's names. It gets a little weird. For the next, nobody knows about any of this shit, by the way, for a very long time. And then one of my friends got raided, and we got raided again. And a couple other people went to jail, and it was a mess. And this in and of itself sort of kicked off a little bit of maybe I should be more careful. I wasn't more. And look, I'm not going to say that a reasonable person would have been well, maybe don't have such a risky living.
That's definitely not what I would say.
Maybe make better career choices in your particular profession. Maybe do some things that are more above board. And to that, I would say, okay, that's a fair point. But But if we're talking in broad terms overall for a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a traveling proprietor.
Oh my God.
I don't really know. I'm not going to soft pedal it. At any rate, but yeah, just broadly speaking, if you're a business owner, you should be able to have a relative amount of trust in not just your spouse but your business partners, right? Although it would probably be a good idea to not have your spouse as your partner unless you're like a business partner, unless you're like you're going to be on good terms.
Probably pretty young too at the time, so you were obviously thinking at the time you were probably in love and could trust her. Also, if she's at your house constantly and you're running your business out of your house, how do you hide that? Either you never have your girlfriend over, or you invite her into your world. So naturally, that's what somebody would do.
So it took the better part of 2 years for them to build a case on all of this shit. While this happens, the arc of drug use in our circle, because of the shit that we were doing, became progressively dirtier. You know what I mean? And before too long, the phone rings at like 2:30 in the morning. It's pouring rain at this point in a 20 some acre farmhouse that has like a 3/4 mile long driveway.
That's nice.
It's really cool. Phone rings, and everybody in the house is high as fuck on heroin. Everybody. Pick up the phone, and I hear, "This is the witch doctor. I'm at the gas station up the road from your house, but I don't know exactly where your house is. Can you come meet me so that I can follow you back?" And I go, "Hey, babe, I was the witch doctor. I'm going to go meet him at the Conoco real quick. I'll be right back." And that's all of that story that I get to tell right now. Okay. But let's fast forward a little bit to where we're having pizzas delivered to the undercovers that are across the street from our house, where we're like sending people out windows and stuff like that. And it was hectic, and it became hectic. And look, man, I don't want to make excuses for my behavior, because that was some drug addict shit that we were doing, and we were fucking on drugs. You know what I mean? But that sort of set the tone for the next several relationships, which of course, because you're doing that kind of shit, bring in just worse versions of that original untrustworthy psycho super hot wingnut.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
What are you in denial about right now?
So then what was your next relationship like?
So let me think. Oh, that's right. Okay. Do you remember the last time that we were doing this show, what I was talking about? And look, I'm not talking about I'm skipping to long-term relationships on this. But I had gone and, joined the circus. I was doing Renaissance festivals and shit like that. And that was the chick that wound up
setting your trailer.
Trying to set the trailer on fire.
That's right.
And breaking a bunch of stuff after stealing everything that she could.
And you guys never spoke again, which I still think is so weird.
I mean, there were a couple of attempts through a mediary once, but that sort of fizzled. And you got to understand, this is still back in the time when like the only two cell phone companies were Nokia and Ericsson. With pre-iPhone, pre-Android, nobody has cell phone. We're nomadic in general. Everybody's on different circuits. If you don't see someone for 6 months, you really don't see someone for 6 months. If you have a number for them, maybe it's not good anymore, and it's usually like it was significantly harder to track people down. And what are they? The time heals all wounds. Well, so does new pussy.
Yeah.
You know.
I honestly, the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody.
To get under somebody new. That's what.
But honestly, as where I'm at now, that is not a thing.
Don't take that advice, kids.
Don't, because honestly, all it is a fucking Band-Aid for your trauma.
Really is.
You have to fucking deal with whatever it is you need to deal with and then move on to somebody, because like burying yourself in dick or pussy, thinking that you're going to get over your ex, it just creates so many more mental issues.
It really does. It's not a problem. It's like my brother used to say about booze. Well, I may not feel better, but I'll feel better about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not healthy.
No.
It might be delicious, but it's not healthy. Most things that are like super delicious, not healthy. Just as a general rule, But no, man, like I pulled way back from dating over the last like year and a half. And I've really just been like, if I haven't felt it, or if the chick that wanted to move here after knowing me for like 3 days, dude, I'm like, hey, yo.
I didn't know you only knew her for 3 days.
Well, I mean, like in person. Yeah, dude. Whoa,
So when was your last serious relationship?
There was someone I dated for a few months after my divorce that I would consider like more serious. They were after my separation, I would consider more serious. Yeah, and like that, and the reason that ended is because I was moving. And I was like, look, it's not going to be fair. I already can't give you the time that you want from this. Is the problem with the other chick too, is that she was like, she wanted 100% of my time. She wanted more of my time than I would have been able to commit in the first place, but then more of that.
So how much of your time can you commit to a relationship?
What I can do is try to match energy as often as possible, and I can put shit away, and I can get better at time management. But it would be a really good idea if someone were to date me to already have like something going on.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? To like not need me as the primary source of entertainment in your life.
Yeah.
That or the primary source of all human interaction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are people who are really controlling, who really try to limit, and you were talking about really try and limit who you have contact with and what you do and stuff like that, man. And I genuinely believe that like men need to be able to have a space where they could go and fucking bitch about you guys or joke about you guys or fucking talk about fucking watching two grown men beat the shit out of each other on a screen for money and entertainment. Shit like that. And just have that space, and that you guys should have that space too. And that we shouldn't let me finish, because what makes relationships get overly weird overly quick. I love this dog. It is that whole like you are my sole source of everything thing. And that's just not how anything else in the world works or should work.
I believe though that if you are giving your partner enough attention, they won't need all that. Well, so that's a thing that I feel like people nowadays have a really hard time doing is time management, and I feel like people overcommit themselves. I feel like people are just putting too much shit on their plate. And like for you, relationships have taken a back burner. So it's hard for you to think of being able to have all this time to devote to somebody. But when you meet somebody, you'll make that fucking time.
Well, what I want is to be realistic about it, and what I want is to not present a front that is, I do have more time than like it makes economical sense for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying really fucking hard to, not enter into a situation where 3 months down the road, it's like, oh, well, yeah, no, it was like that because we just met and I really want,
Mhm.
that's how typically relationships go, where you're just, it's got to be that. And most of, like, I'm single and all of my relationships have started that way. Maybe a healthy relationship doesn't start that way. Maybe a like a really enduring lasting relationship doesn't start. Maybe you actually do have to, like
spend time as friends or whatever.
Well, not even that necessarily, but just not be immediately in each other's pocket to the point to where the rest of the world, now you've got to catch up to life because it's been a month and, like, oh shit, some stuff happened and I gotta, or you start fucking up. Like, I'm not in a position where I get a fuck off at work because I'm the employee, like I'm the boss and the employee, so like everybody else in my life suffers if I fuck off at work. You know what I mean?
In your perfect relationship, what does the time look like in that? Like, how often would you want to see and or spend time with this person that you can still do your own thing and feel comfortable that you have your own life?
I mean, I could hang out with somebody daily. I could you see somebody for, like, and if that's, a like midday meal or whatever, if somebody ends up cuddling, fucking cool.
Jesus.
That's a sleep bark.
That scared me.
That's a sleep, yeah. Because movement.
I know.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But like in terms of what's been presented to me by females since I have been, back in dating again, it are females who want 150% of not just, all of my time, but all of my energy and and aren't necessarily, we're like, when you have that initial conversation about, yeah, I have kids, yeah, I'm in a co-parenting situation. Yeah, it's actually, a fairly decent co-parenting thing. Like, we don't hang out, but we don't openly hate each other,
right.
And even that is like, it gets weird because for people who need that much attention from you don't want you to have a positive, healthy relationship with your ex. And
right.
like, I need a fucking adult, I guess is what I'm saying, and I don't know if there's an unharsh way to say that. Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world externally that are cause for concern. And I don't know how much time that we have, period. There's a handful of things that I would like to be able to do and accomplish. And unfortunately, I can't just reach out to a dead relative and pluck money out of the air to do that. So I do have to work. But I made the conscious decision to take my retirement on the front end and work until I die. So I'm okay with that.
Right. Well,
but somebody else has to be too. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the other, like, there's a lot that I am currently working on. There's a lot that I can recognize that I probably do need to adjust a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm totally willing to do all of those things with and not for, but because it would allow me to be a better person to somebody. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I can, that's what I can do. But what I can't do is drop like everything that allows for life to move because somebody has to have that kind of attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's it's a weird conversation. It's not a, you know, but again, what I would like to do is match energy, you know. And if somebody is like there and there for me, I am going to be there and there for that person. There's, you know, there's a bunch of different ways that can go, but the one way that it can't go is fucking you know, we're guaranteeing a shitty future by doing this one thing right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Dating's really hard, especially when you're older too, because your like brain is so much clearer. You have, you know, pretty firm expectations of somebody because you've already been through a bunch of people that have traits and different things that you know you do not like. So once you get older and you start dating, it really is like there is expectations, you know, and you know, when you're an adult and dating, it isn't, you know, talking for 10 hours a day on the phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who has that fucking time?
I can't do fake shit, and I can't do fucking, like, I can't do fake shit, and I can't do small talk. And I will spend a lot of time on the phone with somebody. I will. Dude, I talk to my buddy Garland Nixon. We'll be on a 2-hour conversation and be like, oh shit, fuck, good work, you know. Yeah. But and it's a little bit different because I talk for a living. Like, you know, you just fucking can't shut up. Yeah. But so that's not even something that really, because you can have enjoyable, meaningful, and entertaining conversations that you'll remember, that go for a very, very, very long time. You know, yeah. And but what it is, at least with me, it is just this like it hurts my stomach physically to be around like the fakeness of a dating. We were at the fucking casino last night. I thought I was gonna puke, like for real, because of like how fake it was getting in one spot for a moment. I was like, holy shit, I'm actually going to throw up. You know, I didn't know it was really like that. Maybe I should, you know, well, this is something new to examine, you know, but it made me like physically sick. And then I got a lecture about how I do need to placate people more. And I was like, well, I probably do. You're probably right.
I mean, it sounds like you're pretty clear about what you want. I mean, or what you're looking for, what you need, really. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, yeah, Gomez.
I do have Gomez.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool, man. While you do that,
because the beer just runs through me.
While you do that, that's what it does.
I know.
While you do that,
read some of those comments.
I will. Let's see if I'm getting fucked with in like multiple avenues here. Okay, well, there were a couple of Super Rays that came in so far. Let me pull those up. And thank you very much for that, by the way. Tim Osmond. Holy fuck, I love this bar. Doing dabs in the DJ booth. Haven't drank in 3 months. They let me bring coffee in. Been coming here for a decade. Hit me up when you're back in Packer area. Yeah. We had a conversation on one of the other shows. I have family in Wisconsin. And congratulations on the not drinking for 3 months. That's good shit. And also shout out to everybody who is participating in the Sober October thing. Kevin Shapiro, just because I wear copper goggles and a wax mustache and I pilot a bubble-powered gyrocopter, people call me steampunk. This is not a safe assumption. Don't apologize. Do better. I feel personally attacked, Kevin, personally attacked. Let's see. Shouts to the people in chat right now. And we can kind of run through this a little bit. See if anybody's doing some kicking around. Always under promise, then overperform. See, I'm a fan of that. I am. I'm a fan of under promise, over deliver. I am.
Yeah.
I have over promised many times, and that never freaking worked out. Not a once, not ever.
Could you not meet those promises?
It's that overcommitment thing.
Honestly,
It's like raised Midwest, and if anybody's like, "Can you do something?" you just say yes, and then you figure out what it is.
The guy I'm talking to, I've never in my life met somebody who overcommits more. That dude fills his plate so fucking much. He runs himself. Sorry,
It's okay.
He runs himself like so thin, but he just does not know how to not do it. He commits to everything. So then his days are just.
Yeah.
I've just never seen somebody be have such a plate full.
Well, I mean, ultimately, that's what wrecked my marriage, was overcommitting to a bunch of other shit and fucking stretching myself so thin that when I did have any actual time at home, it was just doing like repairs, or just like trying to, fix or settle shit down. Yeah, and then some other shit happened. With whatever. That'll be a different episode. It will be because I don't even know if I probably like. There's some shit that I really like. It's not up to me to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not like the other people involved have podcasts and would tell that story or anything like that in any other setting.
Right.
So I really don't know if it's not totally my information to share. Gotcha. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do anybody like that.
Just change the names like those true crime stories.
I think it'd be a little bit obvious.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Especially in the context of, this is why I'm no longer married, right? You see what I'm saying? Okay.
I mean, I definitely want to hear that story.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. You look at people get this idea that you have to present like the best ideal version of yourself when you first get into a relationship, because we're all fucking insecure weirdos. And who could possibly love the person that you actually are? So you have to show them some other version of you, or you have to try way too hard, or you have to fake this, or whatever, do that. And these are ultimately things that are going to become huge points of contention in your relationship. Right. Everybody has, in addition to some sort of level of insecurity, a trauma factor too. And so far in our journey, the two things that I have disclosed in terms of trauma factor are snitched and got raided and got a couple of people put away. And also I left Indiana. Yeah, a little bit faster than I wanted to. What she couldn't steal, she broke, and what she couldn't break, she tried to burn.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at, and I am at this point in my life 25, 4, 5, something like that. And also still a reckless degenerate in terms of the things that I was putting into my body. But also no real responsibilities to speak of. Free to travel. Post 9/11 at this point, so significantly less free to travel, but still free to travel. You know what I mean? You just couldn't take the hockey bags on transcontinental airlines anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, you used to could though. Those were the days.
I mean, imagine being able to smoke on an airplane. Like, that should be tight.
Okay, so I look, man, when I'm on an airplane, this is what I've typically done. And I did this all throughout the Rona when we were traveling. You're supposed to have your fucking, like, on the best possible air filtered thing on the planet, which would be an airplane. You still got whatever. But I would sit down and I would open up my laptop and I would pull up a copy of Industrial Society and Its Future. And I would take the mask down and I would sip on something, and
just blow it into your mask or what?
Or down by the seat, something like that. Wouldn't blow it into the mask because you would get just a big puffy cloud of smoke. But
it's easier to do that shit with like vaping versus smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and it's easier to do it in your seat because if you get up to go to the bathroom, the things in the airplane bathroom, they don't go off by smoke, they go off by light dispensation. Oh. So if you hit a vape pen, what it's doing is dispersing the light, and that's what makes it go off.
What if you flush the toilet and blow it down the toilet?
That's the only way you can do it.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. And even then, you're like, But if you're in your seat.
Life hacks, guys.
And it helps if you look like you may be crazy.
Yeah.
Not like I somehow got a box cutter on board and I'm about to take us into a field in Pennsylvania.
Oh man, I've taken so much weed on planes.
Dude.
I had the TSA literally grab my like ounce and look at it and put my shit back looking for my watch because I forgot to take my watch out of my bag. He was just like, fucking have a good one. It was dope.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Multitasking.
You're not doing it well.
You were supposed to riff a little bit longer.
Oh, this is your show. I'm just here for you.
Well, so let's kind of like just take a look just at those couple of things.
Are you having a stroke? Spit it out.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to word it, and I'm trying to be fair in all of this.
Why
I really am. Because I think it deserves it, because that's the way that people actually will, take anything meaningful from it. Because if I'm just like, yo, dude, let me tell you about these crazy fucking bitches that wrecked my life, and that's why I didn't trust any of you fucking weirdos, for the next 15 years or
that's
more.
A long time.
Hey, man, there was some significant damage done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have had, like when you literally have your entire life trying to be burned down by someone, because you went to dinner with your friends for the first time in months.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if she thinks about it ever. Because she's probably a grown-up now, too.
Man, I hope so.
I wonder if she's just like, Jesus, what a fucking crazy person I was.
Or maybe she thinks that she is still to this day entirely justified in her behavior.
Maybe.
And I am, in fact, the devil.
Yeah, but,
I don't know.
I mean, God, if that's the case, imagine the horrific relationship she's had.
So, look, dude, I guarantee she's been in them because I done heard about one of them.
How? Tell me about it. Tell me the gossip.
It was a while ago. But no. Okay, so first let me set it up. Because this chick started out a piece of work. Okay? Frisian.
Frisian?
Are you familiar with Friesland?
No.
It's a little island off of Germany, in between Germany and the Netherlands.
Okay.
And they were autonomous. They were basically like I think maybe they had a king, but they were like Anarchy Island during World War II. You just didn't go there. Not aligned with any, anyone or anything like that. Um, and they're all this is all beat into them culturally, that they are like, the most independent, whatever, blah blah blah, whole thing. And she was from Suffolk County, Long Island, which any of you are familiar is a Nazi stronghold. Uh, but she was one of those people who, whose uncle had an auto body, and she didn't take no shit from nobody, shit like that, dude. And I mean, just banging, and dressed like fucking Tomb Raider every day. Like, it got just like fat ass and fucking, super. But she was also one of those people that would like try to get me in a fight every time we went out, and would fucking totally go and throw her shit around in other people's faces and get fucking like overstepped, hit on about it, and then be like, oh, we'll go do something about it.
I will never understand why women do that. That is such weird behavior to me.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And so, I mean, and that was it was a fairly contentious thing in the first place, and a lot of it was um I'm not like, it wasn't like hate fucking, you know what I mean? But like argue fucking was like kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And it was definitely something that she was way into.
I mean, that's why people stay with toxic people so long, I'm convinced, is because the sex is so amazing. Sex with toxic people is fucking incredible because they're fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, you just gotta find, I know, and it's, this on the internet, but like, you just have to find like a normal type of crazy, where like it's not too fucking much where she's burning your shit down.
Let me tell you how much of a hopeless romantic I am to this day. Okay.
This is gonna blow my mind because I don't think you are.
I think that there is complementary crazy for everybody. I think that everyone has the potential for love, and I think that everybody has a kind of crazy that doesn't work against your particular crazy, but complements it. And I've seen it in a handful of different relationships. I have where the people are like genuinely fucking weird, but their crazy is so complimentary of each other that it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I genuinely believe that. I do. 100%. Now, as to whether or not I've already met that person and I fucked it up, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I would like to think not. And there's always the possibility that because there's 8 billion people on the planet, there's more than one person that complements your crazy. And you have multiple opportunities to find that person.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't believe there's one soulmate for everybody. I think I did at one time, but I don't anymore. I think that there's multiple people out there that you can have a deep soul connection with.
100%.
So I think that I just want to check and make sure AC's not out there.
Okay.
Come on, get over here. Go.
Hey, buddy.
Macy's needs to go out and go to the bathroom.
Okay. Hi, Gomez. Let's see what we got going on in the chatty chats over here. Oh, we got like 8,000 propaganda bots. That's how I know. This is how you guys know we're back on YouTube. 95% of the YouTube chat are prop and propaganda. That's fantastic. Glad to see that some things remain consistent in these troubled times. And they are indeed weird days. They are. Dog situation good?
Yeah. Macy's going to the bathroom.
Okay.
I think she wants to play with him, but I'm not trying to deal with all that shit right now.
Right. I mean, next time, something like that. We should do something about the bouncing sound in here. I can come by on Sunday or something.
Okay.
Pad it out a little bit. I make it a habit in case you're new to this whole thing. I have typically made it a habit to have production meetings live on here.
Ow!
Oh, Gomez. Yeah,
sir?
maybe don't. Maybe don't. She's got tattoos.
That's business for your father.
Hey. No. Gomez.
Okay.
Come around, dude. No, not over.
Not over. I just got my knee tattooed. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Come here,
Wow.
brother. Come here,
That's
brother.
a heavy fucking dog.
Hi, baby boy. Hi.
Jesus.
Hi, baby boy. What's up?
He sounds like a little pig.
Snort hog. Snort
He's honestly the
hog.
sweetest dog in the world, though.
He really is. No, he got attacked last night. Like, attacked. Okay, you know those little dogs that, like, they look like compact labs, kind of? I don't know. Okay.
No.
It's a specific breed, and I can't remember what they are, but they're high strung as fuck. And this one, you know how this dog is. He's in your business, right? Well, the dog immediately like snapped at him, and Gomez is just bouncing around, and he's still kind of wagging. And the dog goes to attack him, and Gomez just shoulder checks him, and the dog rolls, and then gets up to come back, and he shoulder checks him again. And he's looking at me like, what's going on? You know, hi, buddy. The dog's owner did pull him off, but the handful of people that were there for it were like, holy crap, dude. He could have eaten that dog in a bite, and that's not who this dude is.
He is a really good dog. And he has like the best smile. And he's fucking huge for only being like 2 years, almost not even 2 years.
Not
and his head is so solid. He'd make really pretty puppies.
Mm-hmm. If you are in the Las Vegas area and have an unfixed female pit bull, so Gomez has no papers, man. Gomez, he don't have no papers. So if you wanted to,
I would breed him even without. He's beautiful.
I mean, we could forge papers, I'm sure.
It's not a thing we would ever do.
No, nor is it a thing that we would encourage. That would be wrong. Hi, buddy. Hi. I guess maybe we should talk about, like, I don't know, different ways that you can just sort of get over the fact that it's not healthy to have a solid distrust for at least 51% of the population. Right?
What's crazy?
Not that I did, but it was just look, man, it made it significantly harder to talk about like shit that I had already been through in a relationship. Made it significantly harder to like flat the fuck out trust anybody that I was with. Shit's gonna go wrong if you don't trust the person you're with. It's gonna make gonna lead to all kinds of other weird. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
I'm
a little bit different. I'm actually pretty trusting, especially with friends. I trust my friends and shit really quickly. If there's no romantic stuff, I trust right away. Usually I'm like trust until somebody has broken that trust for me.
Yeah.
But since my ex, I find myself romantically a little more untrusting, and a little more questioning, but that's because I am insecure and I'm still trying to get better from that whole situation where I don't feel so needy because, I don't feel like somebody likes me or whatever the case may be. So I'm a little more trusting when it comes to stuff like that. Before my ex, I always trusted everybody 100%. I had never been cheated on before, to my knowledge. None of those things have ever really happened to me. Like, I've had some dudes do me a little bit dirty here and there, but they weren't even serious relationships, you know? Like, in my opinion, my marriage just ended. We just didn't fucking get along. I don't think I'm the devil. Like, I don't know. I've never had trust issues before. And now I find myself having a little more trust issues only because somebody I trusted so wholeheartedly broke my trust in such an incredibly betraying way that that's been hard to recover. And I definitely can see it in the dude that I'm talking to. I can find myself getting a little bit like, I don't trust anything. Like, but I know I'm really self-aware of this. So I don't ever act like crazy towards him because I know that it's an irrational thought. He hasn't done anything to me to make me not trust him. He hasn't. And besides, we're not in a relationship. We're not exclusive. We aren't doing any of those things. So there is really no reason that I need to have trust issues at all because we aren't serious, and I'm cool with that. Absolutely. So, but I do expect time when you're with me and those different kinds of things or whatever. But it is definitely a little bit harder to date now, but I still kind of feel like I'm pretty trusting and I am a pretty open book. I'm pretty open with information about myself, which I shouldn't be. And I did learn that from my ex not to be so forthcoming with things from my past because people have a really strong tendency to use that stuff against you when you are fighting. Mm-hmm. And, I just don't want to go through all that again. So I definitely feel more closed off. I definitely feel like I don't give as much information about myself or my past or my experiences or some of the things that I've done. Because, fuck having that shit thrown in my face or whatever, Yeah. So I'm sure you can relate as well. The more you date crazy people, the more closed off you get because you're like, this is fucking crazy. And you close off and then, you're only giving people little pieces about you, Yeah. That's what I feel like.
Well, and I mean, part of what everything that we've done with every other show that I've been on is go out of our way to, but to a point of uncomfortability with how open we're being about shit. There's always going to be stuff about our personal lives that we don't necessarily want to air out, you know what I mean? But in terms of how we legitimately feel about something, or if there's an experience that really shaped the way that we looked at something, then absolutely that's fair game. And anything that anybody introduces becomes fair game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, well, you brought it up, then I guess we're going to talk about it now, and that's, I mean, and that can make for some, a little bit of situational awkwardness. But if what you're doing is in the pursuit of that kind of honesty, then you got to be good with it, especially if you can make it funny.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty open. Obviously there's some stuff that will always stay private because I can be extremely open, but my life is private. Nobody knows what I do in my life. Nobody knows anything about the people in my life. Nobody knows anything about any reality in my life because I really do only allow people to see what I want them to see on social medias or any of these other things because, whether it's friend or lover or whatever, people are so shady these days. So it's hard to even trust friends. You want to talk about trust issues. It's hard to even have friends you can trust, because it seems like everybody really is just kind of out to get themselves or out for themselves. There we go. Get off your goddamn phone.
There's lots of things that are happening. There's multiple chats.
I can't see eyes are
right. So one of us has to navigate some of that. I'm with you, dude. I'm listening. We're here. We're here. We're here. Do I need to scoop? A little better.
Oh my god.
We friends.
Such an asshole.
We friends. It's okay. So here's what, because all of this shit is internal and everybody's different. So I don't necessarily know like how to tell anybody else how they can trust other people, but really you just have to remind yourself that even though like some shady shit may have happened to you, the person that you're talking to isn't that person. Just because something's happening in your head doesn't mean it's happening in the real world.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets complicated, because there's gut feeling and then there's programmed trauma response, and they can feel very, 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 very similar. Dog, come here.
It is. It feels very complex to live, you know?
Yeah.
And like being single now is really hard. Like, kudos to all you people that are married and stayed married.
For sure.
It's fucking savage out here, man. And people suck and they're not genuine. And like, people are just pieces of shit, dude, like straight up.
And to that point, people are only putting a version of what they want the rest of the world to see on social media. Yeah. So if that's what you're expecting and then you meet the real person, you're going to be awfully confused, and that's going to create a lot of conflict up front.
That's why I said people had to look at my Twitter before they wanted to date me, because that's who I am in person. If you can hang with that, then we'll probably be able to get along. Because like, I can be a lot. I'm a lot.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I know.
And unlike you, I'm a needy little faggot, so I fucking am knee deep. But that's probably just some trauma shit, honestly.
Well, and I mean, I don't necessarily need anybody to pat me on the ass and tell me I'm pretty every day. But and that's a service that I provide for people. I'm good for that.
Don't need it,
I'm good
but you're
for that.
To give it.
Yeah. That's not something that I necessarily need. No, you're not going out yet, dog. Still pretty sure
there's another dog out there.
Still pretty sure there's another dog out there. But there's I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. Yeah. But I guess it was where I was going with that is that I can recognize and appreciate the fact that my needs are different than somebody else's needs, and I'm totally, people need to, and I think don't often enough make a conscious effort to address their partner's needs. I definitely haven't.
I agree.
And overextending myself was a huge part of that. Huge part of that.
That's why it's even though it sounds super gay, it's kind of important to understand what your love language is, because not only understanding yours, but being able to understand your partner's. I'm very much a physical touch person and a quality time person, where dude I'm talking to, the more I spend time with him, the more I think that his is acts of service. I think it's really, because then you start to understand your partner and be like, okay, he might not tell me the words that I want to hear, but he does this and he has this type of love language. So he is showing me he cares. Because I think we get so selfish and in our heads that we want our love languages met all the time the way we want them met. But that's not how we project our love languages. I don't know. But do you know what I'm saying? I think that being able to understand what you need, that's why I always say, I'm very much aware that I am it's nice if you do things for me. I appreciate that. But like, I don't need you to buy me things. I don't need shit like that. I'm kind of a little OCD, so I don't mind cleaning my own shit. Like, I like quality time. I like physical touch. Will you fuck off?
Good.
I can't deal with that right now. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Okay.
we can wrap in like
No,
10.
it's cool.
It's,
There ain't no, I don't, whatever, man.
going.
Anyways,
we're at it.
I do
80
think
minutes.
I do think that it's important to understand how you like to be loved and to find out how your partner likes to be loved, but also how your partner shows love. Because not everybody shows love the same way. And I think that's where sometimes, wires can get crossed because I'm a physical touch person. He's not a physical touch person. So I want him to physically touch me because that's my love language, but maybe that's not how he does. So if we can compromise, like maybe I don't need to be wrapped around his entire body when I sleep,
Maybe
like,
you don't.
like maybe I could fucking chill, like there's a compromise there where everybody is kind of getting their needs met. And honestly, I've had this conversation with him and he was really receptive and, there was a successful conversation, but I think that we get so wrapped up in ourselves and how we like to be loved that we forget how other people show love. And I don't know, I just think that it's important to understand yourself and how your partner loves you because he could be showing you all kinds of love just in his own language,
Yeah. And look, man, most dudes, or like, okay, let me qualify that. Most dudes who still have their balls tend to show love by like trying to do things that a provider would do, and to try to like solve problems or fix things or tend to shit like that. It's not necessarily all like touchy feely. And most dudes, that's what I'm saying, like there are at least dudes with balls,
right?
But yeah, I have seen that there's like a new crop of dudes who really do need to be like touched on all the time,
My ex was really touchy feely. He always liked to be touched.
All like,
but I'm a toucher, so that was perfect for me. But that was also fake, so whatever.
Okay, yeah, and look, man, there are just 25 years in construction and shit like that. It fell off a roof. I am in chronic pain all day, every day. There are times when touch is the most magnificent thing that could ever happen to me. And there are times when it's like, oh, dude, that is adding to the current level of pain.
I don't even know what that life is like. I'm like, oh my God, touch me all the time.
And again, man, it really depends. But like, there's plenty of days that I'll wake up and it takes a half an hour before I can really walk right.
Like, don't you like to be spooned by a lady while she plays with your hair?
Can we eliminate that last bit? Can we eliminate that last bit? Yeah, I like to be
the big spoon, so I get it.
No. I'm not a little spoon dude.
Really?
I'm not.
Why? Does it make you feel like you're not a man?
That's kind of some
so
shit,
fucking weird that you think that. Oh my God. I bet you every fucking dude in that chat likes to be spooned.
That's like sitting on the back of the motorcycle. It really is. It's like sitting on the back of the bike. It's like sitting on the back of the bike. Fellas. And don't answer her. Okay? Don't answer her. Answer from your balls. Do you like to be the little spoon? And we'll see what happens in the chat.
And if you don't like to be the little spoon, it's because you've never been the little spoon correctly.
Correctly? What's correctly?
You've never had the correct big spoon.
The correct big spoon is like at least like root in butt cheek. that's the correct big spoon.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like to be little spoon, but I just prefer. I also like to sleep with a body pillow, so I use that person's body as a pillow.
Well, yeah. See, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I just like to. I honestly, I could sleep like that all night.
I'm a hot. I'm a hot.
I don't give a fuck. Let's share sweat.
Radiate heat. And so, well, and there's, sometimes that's cool, but like there's a certain point at like hour 3 where it's just uncomfortable. So it's you kind of like, you gotta, when skin's sticking and you're peeling an arm off.
My house never gets that hot. That would ever even be a thing.
Oh,
my house is so cold in the summer that we could literally be under a comforter and still not be sweating.
I don't believe you.
I mean,
I don't believe you.
Fuck, I don't know.
My regular body temperature is like 101.
I mean, dude sleeps hot too, but like not that hot. I don't know. I don't know, man.
But no, and again, I'm not saying that, like, dude, I'm a fan of cuddling naked. I am. It's a fun thing to do. I am.
Well, that's why your fucking skin's sticking together.
I'm not a fan of like.
Put some pajamas on and spoon.
Well, yeah, there's that too, but I mean, there's still only like so many hours of sleep. I don't even
like to sleep naked.
There's only so many hours of sleep that I can do in one particular position in the first place. Yeah. My body's fucked up. That's just all there is to it. Like, I can't drive for a certain period. It's like 6 hours or something like that before my leg's locked up, and then I'm just fucked for the next day and a half. If I don't like walk that off while we're, shit like that, dude. I fell 18 feet off a roof. I landed on the concrete on my feet. It fucked me up. Like, and I have had my body broken in many different ways, outside of that. Like, I've had a life, dude. It happens. But one of the fallouts from that is not being able to sleep in any particular position for an extended period of time. And if that means that, like, I can't have a human being like knitted into me, Look, for like, I don't sleep for any more than like 4 hours anyway. That's all you get, so I mean, I could try to like get you halfway there, and then finish you off after I make coffee. Okay, dude, cuddle till I gotta go work. All right, cool. Gotta go work. Sure.
Believe it or not, I've actually fucking reined myself in quite a bit. So
I'm proud of you.
Because I mean,
no, we've talked. I'm proud
crazy. And I think that's, I don't know what it is, but I've fucking, reined myself in a little bit. But I just feel like people feel like you will care about them when you touch them, and I don't know. Probably because my mom never hugged me.
Okay, so we've got no spooning for me, says Vadams. I guess I could kind of go through these here a little bit. Makes feel claustrophobic.
Not even for a little bit, huh? Okay.
And then Gray Walker says, told him like a furnace. If I work in close with folks all day, I want space. That makes sense. It does. The one thing I miss being celibate is cuddling. Okay, that's fair. How about over here?
I do like to cuddle.
It's fun. And it doesn't like small spaces. Their glacier cool spooning, can't sleep hot. No, the little spoon just seems off. Thank you, John. You were correct, sir. Yeah, totally get that. There's days when I don't want anyone touching me. I know Shelly's got like just some fucked off, body shit going on too. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it's just you, Sugar. You're a wingnut.
I mean, shit, dude, that sucks. I can't. I'm actually kind of surprised, and maybe that's why I'm single. Maybe I'm too needy.
Anna says, I think the answer is touch all day and get the fuck out at night. Sleep is crucial.
I can get down with that.
You might be onto something there. You might, maybe that's why they had separate beds in the 50s.
Maybe.
They pushed them together to bang one out, and then they fucking put the nightstand in the middle afterwards.
But like, who the fuck as an adult could sleep on a twin? I'm 5'2", and I could never. I need a king size or more. I couldn't even sleep on a queen now. I feel like
you gotta understand though. This was back in the day, and like most people were littler.
I'm littler, and I could never. Yeah. Never. Get the fuck out of here with a twin.
Yeah, no, that's insane. That's insane. A full is insane.
Yeah, right?
It is.
I feel like even a queen, I'm like, peasant. Get out of my face. You know why I like a king size bed? Because I can lay any motherfucking direction on my bed and my feet and head do not hang off. Mm-hmm. I'm short enough to where I can lay side to side, diagonal, up and down. So that's what I need. I'd like one bigger, like wider, not longer. I don't
like the Cal King thing?
But the Cal King's longer.
Is it?
I want it wider.
Okay. Why wouldn't you just turn the Cal King a little bit then?
Because then, I don't know. Shut the fuck up. Because it wouldn't fit on a fucking bed frame like that. It wouldn't fit on a bed frame.
You thinking it's what's a headboard but a piece of wood that you nail to the freaking wall?
It's not even nailed.
Or you fucking attach to the back of the bed frame. Like
you've seen my bed. It's
be
beautiful.
A problem solver. You do have a very nice bed. You do.
And that's a frame that would not fit a sideways bed.
You could make it work if you really wanted to. They
have to make bigger beds that are bigger wide because there's bitches that are like, my 100,000-pound life or whatever. Those bitches are big as fuck. So they got to make big ass beds, right?
Yeah. Well, it's why I vividly remember this from 7th grade math class. Mr. Windwin. He goes, I got a bonus problem. And this would have been 1992. Yeah, it was an expansion year for Major League Baseball. Okay. And in the new stadiums, and they were retrofitting Major League Baseball stadiums throughout the country to limit the number of seats. They're making it so that there were less seats in every stadium. And it wasn't because they wanted to jack up the price of tickets ridiculously and have the solely upscale crowd at baseball games. It was because by 92, Americans were on average so much wider that they couldn't fit into traditional baseball seats.
I just saw this clip from Joe Rogan that this guy was on there. I can't even remember the guy's name. I saved it, but he's talking about this tribe somewhere. But he's talking about how they live normal. So they go with, they don't have a lot of artificial light. So it's sun up to sundown. Mm-hmm. They sleep at night. They didn't even have a word for insomnia. They sleep like 7 to 8 hours a night. They have, they're mainly on a paleo diet, nuts, fruits, fish, vegetables, everything and the way that he was describing it and all the different benefits, it was really interesting because he kept being like, it's not living any way but normal. That's normal how we're supposed to live. That's how we're supposed to eat. We're supposed to sun up to sundown, have light and different things like that. It was actually really interesting. I'll probably go back and watch the whole interview or whatever.
Who was he talking to? Do you remember?
I know, but I saved it on Instagram because I was stoned and I knew I wouldn't remember his name. So I
Okay.
did save it so I can look and see. You know what else I heard really? Did I send you that dolphin thing today?
I think so.
Wasn't that crazy?
It was. Yes.
It made me
Yes.
it made me feel like I wanted to have fucking babies with dolphins. Not like with them, but like, so I read this article or saw this thing today.
Next week we're going to talk about Sugar's fish fetish.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. So they're talking about dolphin assisted births. Now I know that sounds very...
No, dude, it's freaking awesome.
But it is.
Wild shit.
Wild. So it goes into how the dolphins are basically just like swimming around. Like you're in a tank with dolphins, pregnant, ready to pop that shit out. And they will circle you and basically like, what is it, like sonic wave fucking to you to fucking, and they're saying that it's like basically a painless birth. And they said that the kids that were born in those kind of circumstances were extremely intelligent, like Harvard graduates, all kinds of like...
Because their parents can afford freaking dolphin birth.
Okay,
that's why they were Harvard graduates. Come on.
But in the video, it talks about, because dolphins are extremely, extremely intelligent. And there is something to say about, because remember at the end, he's talking about how the reason they only let you be in controlled environments with dolphins is because they want to keep us dumb. It was a really good video. I should try to find it and post it on the fucking Instagram page.
BluntForce Wisdom has an Instagram page, and if you're on Instagram, you should follow it at BluntForce Wisdom on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the video and I'm gonna post it on there because I'm not even doing the video justice, but it was really interesting. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know anything, but it was the first time I heard about it, and it definitely intrigued me. You know, like, I mean, wouldn't that be fucking crazy?
That'd be awesome.
Like dolphins just spinning around, like basically giving you their energy.
We should all be able to just harvest dolphins in case somebody gets knocked out.
We don't need to harvest them. We could just, swim freely with them, you fucking weirdo.
Right?
We're not a zoo. We're not
You take a chartered freaking cruise out to go give dolphin birth in what, like the Pacific Ocean?
As I'm talking about this and as I'm saying this, I know how liberal of this it sounds, but I swear to God, it was intriguing.
Yeah,
okay, like I'm not out here trying to be like fucking dolphins can fucking help you have babies or whatever. I'm trying to say the video was just like crazy intriguing to me. Definitely something I'm gonna look into a little bit more.
It's wild, dude. It is, and the whole concept of sonar pulses and stuff. I mean, historically, women who have water births tend to do better in childbirth anyway. You don't usually hear like nightmare stories about the water birth process. Why wouldn't you throw a couple of dolphins in there?
I just feel like we've always heard how like smart dolphins are, this and that, their capabilities. And then hearing that, it was like this weird thing that clicked in my brain where I was like, I need to see what this whole thing is about. Like, I don't know. It was just dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
They made me fucking want to go swim with dolphins just so I could soak up some of their energy. Just draining fucking dolphins. They're just SpongeBob sponges in the water. What?
The chat's funny. They are. Dolphins have been classified as rapists.
Yeah, that too.
Perhaps they need to be cleared of these charges. Well, so are you saying that like it's the rape dolphins that are in there at the live births, or is because that could get kind of weird too? I mean, or do they like pre-screen the birth dolphins and like weed out the rapey ones?
Look, I sound really ignorant right now, but why? Who are they raping? Other dolphins?
No, I think they're raping people.
Okay, That's insane.
I don't know, but Anna
Are they raping
Maris,
people?
are they raping people or other dolphins, or are they like interspecies rapists? Where like if a fish swims by and they're looking a little tarted up, the dolphin just goes, "I gotta go get me some of that."
Or are they just humping like a dog?
Right. Hey, what do you mean by blowfish?
I'm just curious as to who knows that? Who are they raping? How do we know that they're raping?
Right?
There's a lot of
Yeah.
raping in this last part here.
Yeah. Oh, they get rapey with human females.
Oh, maybe. What if they're having those babies?
What if they are having those babies?
Huh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh. So long and thanks for all the fish takes a dark turn.
Wait a second.
Yeah, rapey with humans.
Are they like?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they
dolphins
penetrating?
Dolphins are supposed to be
who's in the dolphin tanks naked? Are they just humping like a dog, or are they like literally?
Okay. To the YouTubes.
Do what?
We're gonna find out. We do it live. Dolphin rape. Yeah, look, dolphin rape stats. First thing that pops up on YouTube: the dark side of dolphins. Bottlenose dolphin gang rape, rumble.
Okay, I thought that was a gang rape.
Yeah, busting the dolphin rape myth.
See, that's what I'm saying. What if it's not like?
Oh,
real?
they put a chick in a bikini in there. All like, hey, come get some, dolphin.
I just am curious. Like, are they penetrating?
Okay, well let's. It's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's not like it's not like this is going to be monetized on YouTube in the first place. So we can go ahead and take a little look-see with the rest of the folks at home. Yeah, come join us, friends, as we go to the briny blue deep.
Dolphin rape.
That's so... yes, and here we have the bottlenose dolphin. He has been.
I mean, it would make more sense if it was like humping like a dog. I just don't know how they're penetrating women.
I mean, well, I don't know if it's like actual rape or if it's
psychological rape.
Well, no, I mean like trying to get them through the suit, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm gonna mute us up, and then I gotta go back there and hit play.
Surprisingly, the beloved bottlenose we know as Flipper may be the most aggressive dolphin species. In the Bahamas, 2 male bottlenose harass a male spotted dolphin. At first, the interaction seems harmless enough, but it quickly escalates. The bottlenose take turns assaulting the spotted, perhaps to assert their dominance. Next, they turn on a spotted dolphin half their size. It's only a calf. Bottlenose are among the very few wild creatures that will kill for reasons other than hunger. Swimming in formation, a group of adult spotteds rush in to intercede. In the flurry of threats, the calf escapes to the surface. Bottlenose are even more prone to clashing with members of their own species. These males in the Bahamas bear many scars, including those from fierce battles. A first sign of impending trouble is jaw clapping, a clear, audible threat.
Back on. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like maybe they rape each other, but they don't rape humans. And if you have a link, I would definitely like to see it to confirm or non-confirm, because that's a rumor I've heard for a long time, but I didn't know how the hell they came to it.
I could see the cage dolphins getting a little rapey. You know, I mean, just look at prison stats. If we lock those.
But those free ones, they got the whole fucking ocean to bang.
Yeah, yeah. I would be willing to suggest that you could even go out wearing your tightest skirt
Yeah.
in the ocean with some dolphins,
And I'm not gonna get raped.
and they wouldn't get, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it would be the same way that your dog violates me. Just like in my area, trying to sniff my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like a dolphin's like, hey, bitch, bend over because I'm about to fucking
Right, you about
plow
to find
you.
out.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, Sublime wrote a song about me. Yeah. No, man. No, I don't know. But yeah, I would imagine in captivity much more aggressive, especially if they're a flipper.
Is that like being a top in the dolphin world?
Well, the bottlenose flipper, the overly rapey TV dolphin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think Flipper was rapey though. I think that was like a Hollywood story
Probably.
thing where Flipper had attacked a couple of trainers in a very overly rapey fashion.
That's Hollywood for you, you know?
Right? Right? What is that one? Oh, okay. I see.
Tell me your favorite comments from tonight.
Let's see. Oh, well, we had a couple of tips that I should read off first.
Yeah.
But Costello says, "What is up a chicken's ass when it eats? Normally, up.
I don't know.
What's up? Yeah, chicken's ass."
I smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to get chickens, so
Yeah. Anna Mary says, "Sorry, I'm really late, but let me say, never meet your heroes. They'll only disappoint you." Well, that's a bummer. Well, especially because I know that I know where she was last weekend, and there were a bunch of people speaking and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. That would be unfortunate. But usually that's how it works. Like very rarely do you get those stories where like, oh, I met my hero and they kicked ass. You know.
Honestly, I don't know as a fucking grown up if I could say anybody's my hero. Nope, that's wrong. Ron Paul. That's what I feel like I'd be like with Ron Paul. I honestly, he changed so much about my life. But other than that, there's not anybody that I would, and I don't, even then, hero. It's like that's a lot to even call somebody. But definitely people you look up to disappointing you fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm sure. Honestly, I'm so high, so I don't even know. But there's probably a shitload of people who have disappointed me in my life, and I'm sure it's always sucked. So,
you know, I mean, there's definitely people that I've looked up to, but I am painfully self-aware. So I do try to incorporate that into how I view other people. And I like, it's a little bit of a struggle from like the tendency to kind of expect the worst out of people. And just not being surprised if people wind up being douchebags. Like I would rather be like, oh, well, that sucks. You know, than err on the side of all people are shit.
Well, I totally get what they're saying because because Could you imagine me? Like, I don't look up to a lot of people and I don't look up to this person, but it's somebody that I would really, really, really love to meet that I haven't been able to meet, which is Sky Daddy. I would love to meet her, but if I met her and she fucking sucked, that would fucking suck.
That would
You know
suck.
what I'm saying? Because
That
I
would
have
suck.
such a want to meet her and communicate with her and fucking shoot the shit with her, smoke with her, whatever. It would suck if I met her and she just sucked. So I totally get what they're saying, and like having your expectations for somebody and then them not being met, even on like like you're not even fucking cool, fuck, you know, like it. And you see that a lot nowadays because people are so disappointing in all kinds of different, you know, areas. But
I've always hated meeting people for the first time at like an event that we were responsible for throwing, because that usually means that I've been up for like 3 to 7 days, more or less, getting all this shit together, and I'm fucking totally not together myself, and I'm fucking just like, you know, it's not even that I have my head up my ass, it's just I don't know where I am, like at that point, and that can't come off great. I always feel bad about it, but I tried it beforehand. We could like do these things too, where I'm like, look, this is how it's going to be because I haven't slept, and you know.
Yeah. I've only met one person off of my Twitter, and I've never had like people be like, oh, it'd be great to meet you. So I don't really know what that life is like. But I imagine I would actually really enjoy it.
I mean, if you can be present for it, it's awesome.
True.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do all that other stuff that you do, like throw the party. I just want to like go there and meet people that like I follow or follow me or however that works.
Right.
Which literally is like 4 people because I don't even fuck with Twitter no more. But
right.
I'll get my new phone and I will, but I got to do that shit on my tablet because I'm banned, so I can't even. It's not even fun, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wind it down. I should call my kiddo. But yeah, I don't think there were any other. I think we read off all the tips so far. Or wait, no, there's one. Okay. Well, we at least have people agreeing with us, so that's helpful. Oh no, we did. We got them all. All right. Well, cool. You guys freaking rock. Thank you. We will be back next week where we will be taking your calls for the first time. So what we're probably going to do is just introduce a theme for the night. You don't have to make the phone calls specifically about that, but it would be kind of cool if we could keep it relatively thin. I don't expect that to happen.
No.
People aren't going to fucking listen to me.
No.
Why the fuck? No. Savages. All of them. All of them.
I hope somebody calls and asks to see your feet.
What's with feet, dude? I don't get it. I don't, man.
I don't know, man. That shit's weird. I do nails, so I did, you know, I worked a lot of feet, did a lot of pedicures. I don't even hate it, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
Anyways, we're going to take those calls and it's going to be dope.
Heck yeah. Looking forward to that. We will see you guys next week. It's been fun as hell. Let me pull up a little bit of...
It is always fun.
Get us out of here. Music. I'm glad Gomez got to hang out, even though he's a little bit of a...
Before we go out, let me put Mason out.
Okay.
Hopefully next week I won't sound like an 80-year-old man.
It's funny. I don't think you sound like an 80-year-old man.
I do. I honestly, I've never listened to the shows we do because I hate the sound of my voice so bad. Do you listen to them?
I'm going to have to start listening to them more.
Do I sound disgusting?
No, dude. I told you.
How would you know?
I like you because you've been on the show before. So the register that your voice hits, I find appealing. What I don't like, I like to that's something that I can listen to. What I have a harder time with is like the squeaky voice shit and constant up talking.
Well, that makes sense because I also prefer podcasts that have men on them than women. So it would make sense that you like my voice because I
No,
sound like a man.
No, dude, what? No, is the thing where as dudes get older, higher pitched stuff, it both becomes harder to hear, and because it's harder to hear, it becomes like an irritant. Is the thing. I have had my ears blown out with construction equipment and live
How are
music and
those 80-year-old
instruments and
men
things
dating
like that.
21-year-olds?
Viagra and not listening to a fucking word
And
some
hearing
20-year-old
aids?
dumbass says to them. That's exactly how they're doing that. You guys, I don't even know if we have this on the. It's not in the thing yet. There we go. Let's bring this up, and then we will get us the heck up out of here.
Before you.
Yeah, no, it's not up yet. We're good. Keep talking. We're fine.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't hate the sound of my voice. I definitely think I just have a deeper voice. Me personally with podcasts, I don't fucking I mean, if any of you people have ever followed me outside of here, you know I got some disdain for women. I actually do not like a lot of podcasts that have women. I don't like the sounds of their voices.
Maybe we'll
No,
do anti-feminism next week, and that will be our introductory subject, and that's what we'll take phone
Oh,
calls
that'll be
over.
fun. That'll be fun. So I honestly listen to mostly men podcasts.
Right on.
If my voice is appealing to you guys, then thank you.
Well, you kick ass. You're beautiful human beings. And we love the hell out of you. Thank you for showing up. Tell a friend. Is every Thursday night, and after this next Thursday, with the phone calls. So what we're doing is we're gonna give you a little taste, and then we're going to do the phone calls only on Rockfin Premium on Thursday nights, and then on Sunday afternoon the show is going to be released as a full podcast, but you won't be able to participate in the live phone call experience unless you are a Rockfin Premium member. So if you're not a Rockfin Premium member, you should do that. It's $9.99 a month. You get all of the paywalled content on the network. You can either subscribe to this channel or AM Wake Up. I would encourage you to subscribe to the AM Wake Up.
All of them.
But well, you only do one, but you can do one per email address. So you can get 10 email addresses and subscribe to 10 channels if you want to. There's also a break if you subscribe for a year up front. But yeah, that's how that's gonna work. We will see you next Thursday. Let me find the thing here. Where'd it go? Oh, it's not up there. Is it? No, that's whatever. You guys rock, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Bye, you guys. Can you
must have found ways and from away into my hands. There's a name there that I can't understand, underline and over again. List of things left to do. Touch a lake, race number 2. Hold my head above, strange waves on the shore, till I can come back for more. Such